Yeah. Y'all. Mm. Y'all, I tell you. U.S. authorities are searching for a long-time leader that they already caught, y'all. Los Angeles street gang, who investigators said ran a mafia like criminal, enterprise. That include murder, human trafficking, and extortion. While he also worked as an entertainment entrepreneur, federal prosecutors said Wednesday. Now look, y'all. This man is a big man. Now, most of the people that surround themselves with him, his little army, are already locked up. Okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to get into that. So before we do it, close that screen, though, and start letting all them eyes up in here. Okay? Now, y'all, this. Eugene Henley Jr., known as Big U, was one of 18 members of the Rolling 60s neighborhood crip charged in a federal complaint with a litany of federal crimes, y'all. And like I said earlier, drug trafficking, conspiracies, and armed firearm offenses, the U.S. Attorney Office said in a statement, y'all. This man, 58 years old, and two others are considered fugitives. The statement said some defendants were already in custody. Now, Big U. Let me see, I got a picture of him. Hold on, y'all. Let me see, can I show y'all a picture of Big U? Some of y'all don't know Big U. So when you think about Big U, you think about big people like Dolph, Nipsey Hussle. You think about him. Let me see, I got a picture. of him. Okay, and then he took a picture with Nipsey. But everybody think that he played a role in Nipsey because there you go right there. Hold on. There you go right there. So he is suspected. He is a suspect. I apologize. He's a suspect in the 2021 killing of an inspiring rap musician who was signed to his record recording company, Unique Music, according to prosecutors. The rapper, identified in court document as R.W., was allegedly shot and unalive by Henley, Big U, after he recorded a defamatory song about the gang leader, as a Las Vegas studio prosecutor said. So R&W body was found in a ditch off of Interstate 15 in the Nevada desert. So this song was coming from R&W talking about Big U. Y'all, the prosecutor also said that Henley ran the enterprise like a mob boss and used his stature and long-standing association with the Rolling 60s and other street gangs to intimidate businesses and individuals in Los Angeles. Not only did the enterprise expand its power through violence, fear, and intimidation, but it also used social media platforms, y'all, documentary, podcasts, interviews, and Henley's reputation and status as an OG, original gangster, to create fame for and stoke fear of the big U enterprise, its members and its associates, the U.S. Attorney statement said. Now, y'all, I'm going to tell y'all this secret. When that COVID-19, that pandemic came around, they were doing a lot of stuff out behind the scenes. Big U he was suspected of submitting a fraudulent application for a COVID-19 pandemic relief loan for unique music. It's a lot that this man done, y'all. But see, I ain't gonna stay here all day and talk about Big U. But I want y'all to cut the music for a minute, DJ. Let's take a look at what's going on in the media about Big U. And if you haven't liked, share, and subscribe, please do. And if you'd like to donate to the channel, you can. It's right there. I want to let y'all know I appreciate y'all. Stick with me, because it's factual information over here. All right. Like, share, and subscribe. Let me make sure y'all can see it first.
Latest developments on this, Camilla? Hi, Colleen. At 19 defendants in total in connection to this criminal enterprise. And now, as you mentioned, Eugene, Henley, and another fugitive are now in custody tonight in connection to this case. A known community activist and founder of a youth nonprofit in South LA now facing federal charges.
A career criminal known as Big U,
Eugene Henley is accused of being a longtime leader of the Rolling 60s Crips street gang. Federal prosecutors say Henley ran a criminal enterprise and is accused of a number of crimes, including racketeering, human trafficking, fraud, and the 2021 murder of a musician.
He has maintained the image of an entertainment industry entrepreneur running a music label and of somebody who gives back to the community here in Los Angeles. The facts alleged in the complaint paint a very different picture. It is one of a murderer, a thief, a liar.
Federal authorities say there are other alleged gang members facing charges they say are connected to the criminal enterprise. A number of arrests were made this week. These sketches show two defendants, Sylvester Robinson, in federal court Wednesday afternoon.
4 of the 19 defendants were already in custody, and 10 defendants were taken into custody in the last 24 hours.
Court documents also state Henley fraudulently obtained funding from the city of Los Angeles through the Gang Reduction Youth Development Foundation. Henley was the founder behind the nonprofit Developing Options that helps support at-risk youth.
And Mr. Henley duped the county of Los Angeles by running a nonprofit named Developing Options, which was set up to pull youth out of the gang life and promote anti-gang solutions. Yet Mr. Henley continued to personally orchestrate violent gang activity that impact our communities.
Court documents state Henley had drawn hundreds of thousands of dollars for his own use.
Mr. Henley is accused of embezzling donations made by celebrities, professional athletes, and businesses to his charity.
Federal prosecutors say Henley could face a 20-year prison sentence if convicted on the racketeering charges.
Wow. That's some big stuff. That's big, y'all.
Eugene, Henley, and Brian Mejia are expected to be in court tomorrow in downtown LA. Camilla Rambaldi, NBC 4 News.
Government and tax records show millions of dollars enterprise. Our investigative reporter Eric Leonard joins us now with more on how.
Oh, hi, Michael. Well, the most surprising discovery here is that the nonprofit called the Ex-Offender Fellowship of Nonprofits that the city says were essentially one entity were facing suspensions from state tax authorities. The city of LA has been paying nonprofits millions of dollars in recent years, and the amounts have only gone up. The California Franchise Tax Board issued a suspension notice in April 2024 for one of the nonprofits operated by Eugene Henley Jr., who federal prosecutors in LA announced Wednesday faces racketeering and corruption charges for allegedly misusing money meant the city's gang intervention efforts. Henley's most recent contract with the city shows a payment of nearly $800,000 due in July 2024, the final installment of a 4-year agreement that paid his groups more than $2.2 million for intervention. Henley, seen here in a red carpet photo, began forming the nonprofits in 2009, according to state records. They began receiving city gang intervention funding as far back as 2011. Between 2018 and 2023, LA Controller payment records show Henley's groups received around $500,000 a year. Then, in 2023, a significant increase that followed then-Mayor Eric Garcetti's efforts to increase funding for intervention work after the rise in violent street crime that followed the COVID-19 pandemic. Looking at the tax records for the Ex-Offender Fellowship, which includes the city money and private donations, you can see its revenue went from around $500,000 yearly, $800,000, then to nearly $2 million for 2023, the last tax return available. Where was the money going? The tax returns show while Eugene Henley Jr. was paid $95,000 as president and director, including corporate officers, directors, and trustees. According to the criminal complaint, Henley diverted much of that money to his personal bank accounts, and the feds say he allegedly pocketed tips and donations intended for the groups, including a $20,000 contribution from an NBA All-Star.
What?
Federal authorities say, in addition to all of that, they believe Henley evaded taxes by not reporting all of his income, was also allegedly involved in a scheme to get a home loan that he wouldn't have qualified for otherwise. We asked the city of LA for its response about its oversight of these gang intervention programs. The mayor's office sent us some remarks a few minutes ago and said the city has strict oversight in place, but they say the allegations made public today show that there was a sophisticated scheme to thwart that kind of oversight. I'm the News Operations Center. I'm investigative reporter Eric Leonard, NBC4 News. Back to you.
That, and with Henley Jr.'s influence reaching across the community and entertainment industry, there are questions about where else his network might spread. NBC4's Conan Nolan joins us live from the News Operations Center to continue that part of our coverage tonight. Conan?
That's right, Colleen. When it comes to public money, this could not come at a worse time. Remember, state and local governments, including the city of LA, are looking at a major budget shortfall. They normally ask Washington for help. This news is not going to aid that effort. It was just yesterday on the south steps of City Hall when Mayor Karen Bass touted the success of publicly funded anti-crime community groups. A message to Washington not to cut out federal grant money for the mayor's signature effort at fighting gang violence.
Through our Gang Reduction and Youth Development Program, also known as GRID, we are directly addressing gang violence through intervention, prevention, and community engagement services.
But according to the U.S. Department of Justice today, not all of that money was going to reduce gang violence. Federal authorities say self-described community activist Eugene Henley, also known as Big U, received $2.3 million from the city over 5 years for gang intervention efforts. Money prosecutors say instead went into drug trafficking, fraud, even murder, and Henley's own bank account.
A criminal enterprise where hundreds of thousands of dollars were siphoned off that should have gone to charitable purposes, gang reduction, gang intervention.
The news comes exactly at the wrong time for those trying to halt the evisceration of federal spending. Trump administration, and most specifically billionaire Elon Musk. While crime prevention grant money is a tiny fraction of the overall federal budget, it helps with the messaging from the White House, says Jessica Levinson, former chair of the Los Angeles Ethics Commission. She teaches election law at Loyola Law School.
Is it possible that this becomes an example for Elon Musk to point to? I think at this point, everything is possible. Everything is on the table, saying, look at this terrible use of your taxpayer money. That's generally a winner for.
And it's not just the issue of it, to try to track the money they get from the city and over to nonprofit groups. One member of the council saying that nobody at City Hall actually knows how many of those community groups go into homeless encampment areas to help, or how many beds are filled every night. I'm Conan.
Yeah, ain't that something? That's some big information. Sheesh. Wow, y'all tell me what y'all think about this. I'm out of here, y'all. I'm out of here.